whoa, like we have a lot of carbon dioxide. It shakes up your cells, and so then be your best, you can do it, be your best. Bio means beauty in Japanese. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello! And if you're coming back, thank you. So today I want to go over 2 of the new products that Curel came out with, and then actually I'm probably going to include 2 more at the end, but those are like kind of like interesting little tidbits. But before I do that, let me introduce myself. So my name is Laura, and I've been living in Japan for 11 years. Last year I passed the Japanese cosmetic license test. I am not a medical professional. What that means is that I studied this in Japanese, so I would like to use that information to help you be your best. So before we get into today's video, as always, I do have a YesStyle code. If you don't have any other creator's code that you would like to use when making a YesStyle purchase, please feel free to use my code. You can find the link in the description box down below. It's BEOBEST9. But yeah, so let's get right into today's video. Alright, so today I'm going to be watching Kazunosuke's video on this topic. It's this one here. You can find the link in the description box down below, and I will explain about this new product that's coming out. Okay, so Curel is coming out with both a Bioeki or a serum and an awasengan, like a foam face wash. And the most important thing is that they're going to have this technology, the tansan awa, or the carbonic acid technology that's in a lot of the Kao products. Because remember, Curel is owned by Kao. And so the products that are most famous for that right now is the Sofina IP series. Those are famous for their Tansan Awa technology from like back in the day. And I think that they renewed the formulation, I think last year or earlier this year. So what Kazunosuke explained about how it works is that essentially the technology is there, as with other technologies, to get the beauty ingredients in the product to further penetrate your skin. But what he was saying was that one of the things that this awa tansan, or this, again, carbonic acid foam, does is that it shakes up your cells, and so then that helps the product to get further into the skin. Okay, so this is maybe a poor visualization, but this is how I thought of it. Let's say that you have a bunch of marbles in a box, right? So they're all like lined up in the box, and you want to get this thing to the bottom of the box, but it's hard for you to just kind of put it in there because it's so tightly packed, it's full of marbles. So what you do is that you would put the thing on top, and then you can like shake it, and then the thing will eventually make its way down. So I think that's kind of like the idea behind it. Again, not one-to-one comparison, but that's just how I like to visualize it. And then another feature of this product is that it has konodo nisankatanso. Konodo is high concentration. Nisankatanso is carbon dioxide, which nisankatanso or carbon dioxide is even in tansan inryo or carbonated drinks, things like soda, mineral water, things like that. Kazunosuke, he has the product, and then he was showing, he put it on his hand and he let it sit there. And it was interesting because usually I feel like with a lot of these bubble products, because they don't have either carbon dioxide or they don't have a high concentration, they'll just kind of go away quickly. But this one, you could see it was on his hand and it was maintaining its shape. And then the other thing that he showed was that after a while he wiped his hand and then it had like a red mark. And what he was explaining was that essentially having the nisankatanso or that carbon dioxide on that area, the carbon dioxide can go through the skin and get into the kekkan or the veins. And so what this does is that if in that area, then your veins are like, whoa, like we have a lot of carbon dioxide there, we need more oxygen. So the body will send oxygen to that area, and that increases blood flow. And remember, increasing blood flow helps to keep the skin healthy and keep the skin moisturized. And so that's why that area is red. So I think of it as like, obviously different mechanism, but it's like if you were to put a hot towel, or not a hot towel, but yeah, like a warm towel, something that's not gonna burn you, on your hand, and you leave it there for a bit and you take it off and you see that just that area is red. It's because there were certain chemical reactions in your body that then caused that area to like have more blood go to it. So probably not exactly also one-to-one, but that's just how I visualize it as well. So essentially the carbon dioxide is a different method than what we've heard before that helps to increase ingredient penetration into the skin. And it's interesting because this is called the Dodai Bioeki, and you're supposed to use this immediately after you finish washing your skin. And I always thought, I'm like, it doesn't matter what step it is that you put it in, but because the carbon dioxide, it helps to essentially create like these pathways where that the products that you use, the product that you're using can penetrate into the skin further. That's why it's recommended to be used as the first step. So I learned something new today. But yeah, so that's the technology that has been in the Sofina IP series in both of these products that they have here for a long time. Because Kazunosuke's content is specifically catered for people with sensitive skin, then he was giving some interesting intel that I wouldn't have thought of by myself. So some things that he was saying, for example, was that he has introduced the Sofina IP product before, and he said it's really nice, but as a person with sensitive skin, these are the cautions that I would have. And one of the things that he pointed out is that it uses DPG. So DPG is 保湿成分 or a moisturizing, well, hydrating ingredient. But what he was saying is that that ingredient can tend to be a little bit too much for people who have really sensitive skin. So he was saying that he even recommends like you would put that on your face and then you would just wash it off so you don't have that DPG last on your skin and exacerbate potential irritation. And another thing that he pointed out was that the Sofina IP products have koryo or fragrance, which obviously fragrance is a very common irritant for a lot of people. So he's like, I don't know about that. So essentially what Curel did is that they took the technology of the Sofina IP, because remember it's the same company, Kao has both Sofina IP and Curel, and then they just took this concept that they use in Sofina IP and they put it over to the Curel products. So they made a special Curel face wash and they also made the Jbeauty. So for the Jbeauty, it has the active ingredient of glyceryldisinsanticarium or dipotassium glycerizate. I don't know which one it is. I always say it wrong. That's an anti-inflammatory ingredient, so to help soothe inflammation. And if you saw the video here on Deprogram, they use another ingredient to help tackle inflammation, but that's one of the things that they said that they use to tackle sensitive skin is inflammation. So that might be connected. Just if it's inflamed, you want to take care of it. You want to be gentle with it. And then of course they have the konodo or high concentration isankatanso carbon dioxide, and of course they have Curel's famed pseudo ceramides. Hexadeciloxy PG hydroxy ethyl hexadecanamido. It's a long name. And he points out that for the base ingredients, they use glycerin and BG, which as we mentioned earlier, DBG is a moisturizing ingredient, but again, it can be a little bit sensitizing for people with sensitive skin, but they didn't use that. So he's like, okay, now we can, we getting real friendly with the sensitive skin friendlies. And then the other exciting ingredient would be yukari ekisu, or I think it's like eucalyptus global leaf extract. And I know when you hear that, you're like, whoa, isn't that like an essential oil, or isn't that some kind of plant extract, and isn't that an irritant? But actually yukari ekisu, it has anti-inflammatory properties. This formula is really to help people with, as they say, like their slogan, kanso sei binkan hada, dry sensitive skin. So just some more fun facts that Kazunosuke shared was that reading the Ka website, they said that it took them 13 years to develop this product. They came up with over 1,500 test products before they were like, okay, we can put this out into the world. So I just think it's a very like aijo no komotta sakuhin da na to omotte orimasu. So next up is the awasengan, or the foam face wash. And this one, honestly, there's not a lot going on here because it's very similar to the Jbeauty in the sense that the formulation is the same. Obviously, you have the cleansing ingredients. What he did point out is that it has very mild cleansing ingredients. The main cleansing ingredient, or the main surfactant that was up at the top, was POE isoetylethyl. So I'm gonna put that up here. And he said that's a very mild cleansing ingredient. Basically what that means is that he's like, I mean, it's gonna wash your face, but like you can't expect, for example, it to like get any kind of makeup off. And then he has like this piece of cloth that he uses to do these kinds of tests, and he put a little bit of foundation on there. He, I guess, let it dry, and then he used this awasengan to try and get it off. And I'm gonna tell you right now, not a lot came off. So basically he was saying that this would be a good product to use in the mornings, or I would say as a second step in a cleansing routine, but don't expect this to be your main cleansing product. Like it's not gonna do nothing. Gyakuni, or like conversely, if you only use this as your main cleansing product, you're not gonna get the stuff off your face, and then this could cause more inflammation, more pimples, more problems. As with all other Curel ingredients, obviously alcohol free and fragrance free, so it is very much thought out for people with sensitive skin. And he did give some tips on how to use it, which is interesting because I wouldn't have thought of those tips myself unless it was written on the box. But also, I'm the kind of person that I'll get a thing and it has the instructions on how to build the thing, and I'm like, oh, and just throw that away and do the thing, and then as I'm building whatever it is that I'm trying to build, I'm like, I think I need the ingredients now. So I'm glad that I saw this beforehand. But essentially he was saying that, for example, for the awasengan, you would put it on your skin and then kind of like rub it out lightly, like not, again, we're not trying to do masatsu friction. We're not trying to move our face like Pangea. You're just trying to spread the foam over your face, let it there for around 30 seconds, and then you wash it off, because the 30 seconds is the time that it takes for the nisankatanso, or this carbon dioxide, to get through your skin. And your skin might look a little bit red, but again, it's because of the effect, the increased blood flow because of the nisankatanso in this product. And then you wash it off. But then you can do the same, and then you would go in at nighttime, you would go in with the Jbeauty, or I guess if you want to in the morning, right? You could use the morning wash and then go with the serum, evening wash, going with the serum. You can do whatever it is that you want. God gave us free will, and so I pray that we use it wisely. These are two products I'm really excited in trying, especially I believe that the Jbeauty, or that the foam serum, is around 3,000 yen, whereas the Sofina IP product, which is where that technology originally came from, is around 5,000 yen. So that's like a 2,000 yen, or like if you were to do no conversion from yen to USD, it would be like a $20 difference. And I'm like, man, you could try this technology for cheaper. And I'm like, you know, it's not a dupe. It's not a dupe, but I would definitely be trying to save my yenis on that. So hopefully when I get back to Japan, I will be purchasing and trying that. And if I do, I will let you know. Okay, but then, so the last two products, and I think they're more fun than anything, is that they came out with a Kakato product. Kakato is heel product, and they also came with hand products. And it's not a hand cream, they're both products that you can wear at home at night. And so the Kakato product, it looks like a sock, except it's missing the front part of your foot. And then you put that on at night, and it has ingredients inside to help soften your skin. Same as for the hand product. So if you're very into hand care and you want to put that on at night, and they do have gloves that they sell here in Japan, like you can get them at Daiso, gloves that you can put on at nighttime. So you would put on, for example, some kind of like occlusive product at night, and then you put on your little gloves and you can go to sleep and wake up with soft little baby hands. But now you don't even have to go through all of that. You can just buy these products, put them on at night, go to sleep, and then wake up with, again, beautiful model hands. And the same for your heels, which realistically, TMI, but I should probably get that for my heels, because if I do, again, try these products, then I will let you know on here. But yeah, so that's it for today's video. Let me know of all the products that I mentioned, what product you were most interested in trying, or if there are any products that you were interested in trying at all. But yeah, so that's it for today's video. As always, hope you have a good day. Remember, God bless, be always.